grab your big book, your pen, your highlighter, and notepad and get ready to hear and apply some of the solution from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous through the experience, strength, and hope of Nikki M. To have a question addressed in a future episode of Noodle It Out with Nikki, please send an email to noodlewithnikki@gmail.com, and Nikki is spelled with 2 Ks. To get a more interactive experience with Nikki as she noodles out life and recovery questions using the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, you can get a link to her weekly Noodle It Out with Nikki meeting held live on Zoom every Monday morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The information to that meeting is in the show notes of this podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. My name is Justin B. I am a son of an all-powerful and all-loving God and a qualifying addict of multiple fellowships living in the miracle of recovery. And I'm here with the intelligent agent, spearhead of God's ever-advancing creation, and my co-host, Nikki M. Nikki, come say hi and tell us a little bit about what's going on in your life this week.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Nikki M, and I'm a grateful member of this fellowship, RICO 12, and many other fellowships. I'm qualified for the 12-step programs because I come from a family and everyone suffers the disease of alcoholism, and it is a family disease. And I do that without even picking up a drink, much like you, Justin. So what's going on is I forgot to smash the idea that I'm like other people. And I had a coffee yesterday afternoon, and I don't think I ever slept. I don't do coffee after like 9 a.m. or even maybe on an occasion 10 a.m. because I know one coffee will get me rangy. Yesterday, it's Sunday after church. I thought I'd meet a friend for a coffee at like 2 or 3. I don't think I slept. So, when you just don't get into that REM. So I'm a little rangy today, but it's going to be good. Caffeine and all.
Awesome, Nikki, man. That's rough when when I learn that something like that can affect me so much more than I want it to. I think it's a harmless little thing, and it just throws me off for a whole night's sleep, So anyways, thanks for sharing that. And today, Nikki, let me introduce to those who may be new to this. The Noodle It Out with Nikki podcast is a place where we bring questions, struggles, life issues, miracles to the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and ask that question of Nikki, where she dives in her style, in her way, with her energy and fire to find the solution out of the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous that we can take into action and apply into our daily lives. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to bring a question that seems to be in the air with us in the rooms of recovery and us who are leaving the rooms of recovery because it might be in the air and coming back because, our life has fallen apart. So here's the question I have. Nikki, and I think this can apply to so many different relationships. I want my son, my daughter, my mom, my dad, my coworker, my whoever to behave in a certain way. That way, I think they will be happy. But in reality, it's me that will be happy with them at that point if I really dive into it. So, Nikki, what does the book say about trying to, manipulate or help people do things the right way, at least the right way I think they should be? What does the book say?
It says a lot. It really does. As I was just like, my pen's going do, because that's what's happened. Number one, we get a lot of questions here at Noodle and about lifestyle and how do we apply this to everyday living. And this is a lifestyle, everybody. Let's just start there. See, we come in here and we get better. I mean, Justin said it. The first word I wrote down is miracles, because miracles do happen. It says on page 153, let's just start there, because today on our Noodle meeting, we had people sharing literally miracles. But we also had some people who haven't been around for a while coming back and dying, not getting the miracles. Page 153 says, the age of miracles is still with us. Our own recovery proves that. So we're experiencing miracles. And I know Justin and I are, because we, number one, don't leave the rooms. We've really buckled ourselves in this lifestyle. See, hey, a frog came with me in my throat this morning, of course. Page 29, I'm trying to get him out. It says here, this is what this is all about. Everyone thinks that you come in here and you just stop drinking, stop watching porn, stop eating the sugar, stop with the coffee, the caffeine. Okay. Like it's more than that. Page 29 says each individual, and that's me right now and Justin in our personal stories, we describe in our own language from our own point of view how which is the way how we have established our relationship with God. See, that's what this is all about. This is all about establishing a relationship with God. This is not about arranging life to suit your needs. See, when we take a sincere position, remember page 63, it asks us every day to take a sincere. See, are you taking, that's a key word too, a sincere position. Because a lot of the time, Justin, recently, and I'm always up and down. That's like, what's the timeline of my life? Just listen to all the noodles things we've done so far, like over the past few years. You can get current with me. Sometimes I'll listen to an old episode or we'll come up and it'll be like, oh, my boyfriend and I were broken up years ago. I forgot about that. We've since got back together. You see, like all these things that happen. But what we have to do here when we get into this program is we have to take a sincere position every day to quit playing God, to quit page 60, being the actor who wants to run the show, forever trying to arrange the people in our lives, arrange, the ballet scenario. Well, for Justin, let's just go there. It's the baseball scenario. I was listening to one of our podcasts the other day. Man, you lit on fire when we went into a baseball analogy. So when you give some feedback here, this is it. Like, what are you going to do? Arrange all the players the way Justin wants, and they've got to hit the home runs when and how Justin wants them to. Like, this is just not how it goes. There may be a rainstorm that day on the field. Your player may have twisted an ankle. His daughter's in the sick kids unit. Like there's so many factors. And so what happens? It never comes off the way we want it to. So, number one, the room says, or the book says on page 85, this is what it is. Let's go here. See, it's easy to let up on a spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. And Justin and I know these, Justin's my brother now, and I'm his sister, so we can kind of speak for each other. Always just unmute Justin, pop in, but we're lazy. We're procrastinators.
Not me, Nikki. Come on.
See, there we go. And we rest on our laurels. And it says we're headed for trouble because we're not cured. We get a daily reprieve from this thinking, from this playing God, from this actor, this referee who wants to run the whole show. You only get a daily reprieve. See, it's so, I don't know what the word is because it's something that we've never learned before, Justin. Like we think that everything is planned out and we know things. We don't know anything. Like this is real. It's real video game. It's real. I keep using the Matrix because as I wake up more, as I get into the spirit world more, I'm realizing that this is all like I'm a computer. It's all in my mind. Remember what the book says. We read it, I think, on page 86, where it says our thought life. Our thought life. This is all about a thought life. So these people who come in here, they start thinking again. They don't think about God. They don't think about how powerful and loving and all the good things. They think about their son just got caught at school smoking pot. Life's ending. They just got caught or thought about, they just thought about, like you, Justin, it's like you can't be present because now your phone's blowing up. You've got so much responsibility at work. So now they're out of the moment and their thought life is on something else. And it says here, page 159, and I want you to come in here and get me focused back again because I could just drift out through the book. It says constantly thinking how they might present their discovery to some newcomer. See, that's what we're supposed to be constantly thinking about, how we might present what's our discovery of God, this freedom, this spiritual malady that's been overcome, and not just to some new. How will you present it to your son who may be struggling, to your daughter-in-law, to your coworker? Like, how can we also present it in a general way? How do we share this constantly? Page 159 says we're to think about how we're going to present, how we're going to demonstrate our discovery of freedom, our discovery of a solution. Because remember, Justin, too, we got to practice these principles in all our affairs. So, Justin, it's very good for you and I while we're working 12-step right now to talk about it. What does it look like when the shit's hitting the fan?
Yeah. Nikki, it's pretty funny as you were sharing there, you mentioned something. You called me, you saw it. I had a text from a coworker that like threw me for a loop as you're sharing that I was like, crud, there's something I gotta address, and I just don't have that right now. And I was drifting into, I guess, morbid reflection, into resentment that this person would ask me to do this at this time of the day when I'm not even technically yet at work. Those types of things that are happening, and I'm trying to arrange the play in the way I want it to be rather than the way that it's actually happening around me. And well, Nikki, when that happens in your life, how do you step back and breathe and go, okay, God, my plan obviously isn't your plan. Now let me just, I guess, fall in line with what your plan is. How do you do that, Nikki?
Okay, a lot of that is pause. See, a lot of that is the page 80, I think it's 7, pause, and it's page 119, pause. So let's just go through this play with Justin. Justin and I are right now, he's in his studio, I'm in my bedroom and the Noodle studio, and we're doing it. Now we're to be present with our book and what we're doing. Now the phone rings. I'm on my phone, but he's got his computer and his phone's there, and he looks, and so you see that. So it's like, pause. No one's dead. Go deeper. Let's go here. Page 420. Let's just work on Justin right now, because like, that's the call. Say now, even if it was something like there's been an accident, or like, and no one's still dead, but it's like, and you don't have to go out of the house right this second. Say, something's happened. We could record for another, say, 15 minutes, and then you can deal with that.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
But here we are, page 420. It's right here. How important is it really? That's a big question, everybody. How important is it really? How important is it compared to let's go here, serenity? Now, I'm in my hot tub this morning. Everyone knows I got my hot tub. I'm sitting in there and I'm thinking, I'm looking. It's February, it was 3rd right now, right? So we're in February of 2025. If you go back to some past Noodle episodes, it was May of 2024. I came home and my neighbor's destroyed, like they're doing a renovation. Justin, it's still the way it is. I'm in pause land. Okay, I went to the properly appointed authority. I got the lawyer letter. We're still in negotiations. That kind of stuff before would have been like, I would have had it all done. I would have got a loan, fixed everything up, went crazy. And I'm just looking at going, it's not that important. Nikki, it's not affecting you in your hot tub. How important is it really? And then the thought came, like, I could sit here another 6 years, maybe 2026. Maybe I'll just negotiate it and keep it. You see what I mean, Justin? Because nothing is more important than my emotional sobriety. And when I place more value on my serenity, what is my serenity? My peace of mind. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Like, go deep on that prayer. What can you change in this moment right now? You have to finish recording with Nikki right now. Like, we should finish this recording. We're just doing one today.
Right.
This person is going to be there in 15 minutes.
Yep.
You see, and then and then like we're noodling this out. We're like, this is crazy. I have no problems. Like you have no problems, right? Like what is like, that's what I go like, we have no problems right now. My biggest problem today literally is like, what am I going to put in my mouth today that's going to keep my arthritis at bay? Meaning like no sugar, no carbs, like just eating real clean today. Like that's it.
Yeah. Nikki, that question, those couple of questions that you just read out of the book, I've read page 420 a million times, and for whatever reason, I haven't registered that there are a couple of questions there that are vital. How important is it really? How important is it compared to my serenity, my emotional sobriety? Two questions, right? Well, it's three questions with a comma in the middle of them that makes it two. Um, what a, how important is it really? It's going to be there in a half hour. It's going to be there in 20 minutes. And I can address it then. There's nothing that requires a response right now. And I think if I am honest about life, not just about work, but about life, 95% plus of any of those quote unquote emergencies that come across my laptop screen can wait for a half hour. Wait for me to pause and breathe and say, okay, God, what is the next right thing? What would you have me be? And, and yeah, such a thank you for helping me pause and recognize these things in my own life and not trying to arrange other people's lives to suit what I think is the best way to do it. Any other final thoughts from you, Nikki?
Yeah, because this is what this is really about. It's really as okay, Justin, I've been here. It'll be 13 years. I came in the week of Valentine's Day. So that's in a couple weeks because I'm a true sex and love addict. And my alcoholic wasn't doing what I wanted during Valentine's Day. So I ran into an Al Anon meeting out of my mind. And now it's almost 13 years later. I'm not going anywhere. I'm realizing that you work all 12 steps all day. So every day, Justin and I wake up, we're powerless over this life. We can't do it. We believe that this power will restore us to what is sanity? Love. That's what we're all getting restored back to. Love. Love. This is what this is all about. An energy, a frequency of love. We make this decision every day. Sometimes just Justin and I need to do it every hour on the hour. We make this decision. We're going to live for this power called love. And then we look at our fearless moral inventory. We just said it. We're lazy. We better get going here. We talk to the right people. That's, we admit our defects every day. We're just like, honey, I could do better. Nikki, yeah, I got, that's what we're doing. Step 6, we get willing every day to do this work. Stop doing what we want to do. Step 7, we get humble and start doing the things we don't want to do, like be present in the moment and go, nothing is that big of a deal. We have a list, which is the entire human race, Justin. You and I are 50 years old. I think you're my age. And you look like a baby. Everybody looks like a child. Okay, little boy. I know you do.
I wish I felt like a child and a little boy. I feel every minute of 50.
Oh God, I know. We're so crazy. We
Yeah.
are. We're God's kids. And it's rad. And so we're just making these amends. But here it is, step 10. We're just doing all these steps all day. But step 11, we're seeking God and meditating. I think in year 13, I'm going deeper on that meditation. Like you just said, slow down. How important is it really, Nikki? Because it says it on page 87. It says, many of us have wasted a lot of time. What is that? Like praying for our own selfish ends, worrying, praying for things like, help me, God, this and my that, but all these things. It doesn't work. So if we just sit still, it's in another book that you and I love, Justin. Be still and know that I am, isn't it? Or something like that. Be still and know that I am. I do want to read the Serenity Prayer. That's what we're studying, and see where religious people are right. And and that was part of our assignment. This is what my pastor said. He says, you're gonna experiment, you're gonna pray the above prayer daily. You're going to review the prayer several times a day, and you're going to share what you've learned with someone weekly. Like, that's a good exercise for everyone. So, hey, take your favorite prayer, everybody, and say it daily a couple times and review it several times. Break it down. So I just want to do that, and then you can close us out with your final thought, Justin. But the question was about, like, what do I do, and all, like, go deeper. How important is all of this really? We are a fart in the wind of God's time, right, Justin? Like, think about, like, we are here for a blip. It was like, man, you love a radical Jew named Jesus. He was only here for 33 short time. Like, we don't have a lot of time. What are we going to do with this time? Worry, get into fear, control others? So the serenity prayer. I'm going to change a few words because this is, I want to make it general for everybody. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference, living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking, as God does, this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you, God, will make all things right. If I surrender to your will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you, God, forever in the next life. Amen.
Amen. And I love the full version of the Serenity Prayer. There's so much in there, and I'm just going to make some of my closing comments are going to be on a couple of those phrases. That I may be reasonably happy in this life. My expectation is, when I am sitting in this, is that I'm going to be completely happy. As a guest on Rico 12 this last week said, ice cream and orgasms all day, every day, and that's it. That's what I want. But what God gives me is the reasonable happiness, the sufficient for my needs happiness in my life, and that is a powerful way of looking at things, that I'm going to be given enough to be reasonably happy in this life, so that in the next life, whatever that may look like, I'll have that ice cream all day, every day, and whatever that looks like in my own life. So, Nikki, this has been really important. Not just lost Nikki, but that's okay. I'm going to continue recording. This has been really important for me as we've gone through this. Is that as we as I look at this and go, hey, you know what? Is it really that important? Is it worth me losing my serenity and my emotional sobriety over? In the end, it is not. It's not. It's not an emergency. It's not something that my whole world has to be upended and turned over with. So, anyways, reasonably happy in this life, supremely happy with God forever in the next. Everybody keep coming back. When you do, come all the way in, sit all the way down, work it. You are worth it.